Ever felt like you are just not lucky in love, or maybe the people you're drawn to just don't seem to feel the same way? You might think it's because you're not their type, but what if I told you there is a deeper psychological reason behind all this? In this video, I'll explain why this keeps happening, and once you understand the root cause, you'll be on your way to finding the mutual love you deserve. I'm Darina, a practicing therapist in Australia. Let's get started. And the first reason you're drawn to people who don't seem to feel the same way is commitment phobia and intimacy fears. Some people have an avoidant attachment style. This is where intimacy feels like a trap, too suffocating, too much. And if you are someone who fears closeness or has a hard time depending on others, unrequited love can almost feel like a safer option. It allows you to keep things at a distance, avoiding real emotional investment. Another reason why you might keep falling for people who don't return your feelings is creating the perfect picture in your mind. Let's be real, we all have an idea of the perfect partner, but that picture we paint in our heads is pretty hard to match up to reality, right? So what do we do instead? We project all those ideal qualities onto someone who's unavailable, thinking we found that perfect match. It's safer this way. We get to protect ourselves from the harsh reality that no one's perfect, and maybe, just maybe, we can keep our fantasy intact. Another reason why unrequited love might keep popping up in your life is low self-esteem. When you don't feel worthy of love, you might end up attracted to people who won't give it back. It's like your brain telling you that you don't deserve anything better, so you settle for less. And what happens? The more you're rejected, the more your negative self-perception is reinforced, and it creates this endless cycle of hoping and hurting. Another reason for unrequited love is carrying baggage from the past. Sometimes past trauma, whether it's betrayal or even childhood neglect, can mess with how we trust others. And guess what? If you've been hurt before, unrequited love can feel like the safer option. You're less likely to get emotionally close, less likely to risk getting hurt. But if that's the case, it's super important to do the inner work and heal from those past wounds, because they continue to shape your future relationships. Another reason you fall in love with people who do not love you back is the dopamine roller coaster. Have you ever heard of the dopamine trap? Our brain's reward system loves uncertainty, and guess what? The uncertainty of unrequited love actually sparks that feeling of pleasure. The emotional highs and lows, the excitement of wondering if they like you back, becomes more addictive than actual reciprocity. It's why the emotional roller coaster of hope and disappointment feels almost intoxicating. It keeps you hooked even if it's not healthy. Another reason why you tend to fall for someone who doesn't feel the same way about you is attachment issues. You know how your childhood relationship, especially with your parents, shape how you interact with others later on, right? Well, if your emotional needs weren't met as a kid, you might find yourself drawn to people who are distant or unavailable, kind of like trying to win over a parent who was never really there. That's what we call an anxious attachment style. You might be attracted to that emotional unavailability because it feels familiar, even if it's painful. By the way, if you want to know more about attachment styles and what your attachment style is, please watch this video. I'm also going to leave a link at the end of this video. So, what do you do when your crush doesn't feel the same way? Unrequited love is tough, and it's tough to just get over it. But first, it's time to be real with yourself. Take a step back and really look at the situation objectively. Don't try to convince yourself that their mixed signals mean something they don't. If you are struggling to stay grounded, talk to a trusted friend about it. They can help you see things clearer and give you that outside perspective. And then, of course, you have to deal with rejection. Unrequited love is a loss. You lose the hope, you lose the idea of being with that person, and yeah, it feels like a punch in the gut. But here's the thing, rejection is a part of the process. You'll go through the 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Most people get stuck in denial, holding onto that tiny glimmer of hope. But trust me, you have to move through all the stages to come out stronger on the other side. Next up, let's talk about self-reflection. Ask yourself, is this a pattern in your life? Have you been down this road before with other people? Or maybe you've had some successful mutual relationships that worked out. Understanding your relationship patterns helps you see why you might keep attracting the same type of unreciprocated love. It's an opportunity to grow and change so that the next time you can attract a healthier, more balanced connection. So dealing with unrequited love isn't easy, and it's not going to be fixed overnight, but by taking a step back, working through your emotions and focusing on your own personal growth, you'll be able to finally have a reciprocal love you deserve. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Look after yourself and your loved ones, and I will see you in next videos.